Hi there, my name is Sam from Verse.com and welcome to a new comparison video between the Apple iPhone 12 Pro Max and the OnePlus 8 Pro. We are comparing both phones in terms of display, performance, camera, design and battery. Stay tuned and find out which phone is in our opinion the better phone. If you'd like to see more videos like this, feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Let's start straight away with our review. Let the facts speak. Display. The iPhone 12 Pro Max has a 6.7-inch display with a 1284p resolution. The 6.7-inch display therefore measures 17 cm diagonally with a pixel density of 458 ppi. The iPhone's OLED screen creates as usual very natural colors. The refresh rate on the iPhone 12 Pro Max is 60 Hz. What a great screen, but it still uses 60 Hz refresh rate. Let's see what OnePlus's display is capable of. The 8 Pro has a 6.78-inch display with a 1440p resolution. It uses a very bright OLED screen which creates very accurate colors. The 6.78-inch display therefore measures 17.2 cm diagonally with a pixel density of 513 ppi. Whether a picture looks fluid or not depends on the refresh rate. And a feature that every flagship got to have in 2020 is a high refresh rate. The OnePlus 8 Pro has a high 120 Hz. The OnePlus 8 Pro has a higher resolution and pixel density and has a much higher refresh rate. We still don't like the curved edges of the screen though, and we think that the saturation and contrast is a little bit better on the Apple device. But still, the OnePlus won this category and took home this point. Camera. The 8 Pro has 4 main cameras, the primary and ultra-wide camera with 48 megapixel, a telephoto camera with 8 megapixel and a color filter lens camera with 5 megapixel. You can find the front camera in the upper left corner of the screen in the so-called hole punch notch. Its resolution is 16 megapixel. The OnePlus 8 Pro records 4K videos at a maximum of 60 frames per second. It also has image stabilization for video. So much for the camera specs of the OnePlus 8 Pro. Let us now take a closer look at the camera of the iPhone 12 Pro Max. The iPhone 12 Pro Max has a triple rear camera system. It features a 12 megapixel ultra-wide, a 12 megapixel wide and a 12 megapixel telephoto camera. The front's camera resolution is also 12 megapixel. The iPhone 12 Pro Max records 4K videos at a maximum of 60 frames per second. And of course it has image stabilization for video. The 12 Pro Max also has a sensor shift optical image stabilization for its wide-angle camera. Both phones have good camera systems, but which one is actually the better system? Let's take it to our camera test and let's find out which one does a better job. To test the camera systems, we took pictures of a test chart in daylight and in nighttime conditions. Let's compare the results. The pictures taken in daylight conditions with the iPhone 12 Pro Max are sharper and have more contrast compared to the one of the OnePlus. The iPhone colors look more natural but tend to be warmer. The pictures taken in nighttime conditions are brighter on the OnePlus 8 Pro, but the iPhone's pictures have still more detail and contrast. In case of the front camera, the iPhone took sharper images. The iPhone 12 Pro Max has a 5-fold optical and a 12-fold digital zoom feature. The 8 Pro has a 3-fold optical and a 30-fold digital zoom feature. The iPhone, thanks to a resolution of 4K, also produces first-class videos. What you can see and hear is the quality of Apple's iPhone 12 Pro Max video recording. We set it to the highest possible video quality. Let's see what the competitor sounds and looks like. What you can see and hear is the quality of the OnePlus 8 Pro video recording. We set it to the highest possible quality. We think that the sound quality of the iPhone is better than that of the OnePlus. Let's crop in a bit in post to see how it looks like. As you can see, the iPhone looks way softer and grainier. The color temperature is also warmer than its competitor. It seems like that it has problems in this light environment. The colorful lit up wall in the back makes it difficult for the iPhone to measure the white balance. The OnePlus 8 Pro does a better job in terms of sharpness. As you can see, both look pixelated when cropped in, but the OnePlus 8 Pro still looks a bit better than the iPhone 12 Pro Max. With 240 frames per second in Full HD mode, your slow motion videos are a go. With 480 frames per second in 720p mode and 240 frames per second in Full HD mode, your slow motion videos are more than a go. The iPhone 12 Pro Max features an excellent camera system, which is in our opinion definitely the better one in this comparison. The OnePlus has a great camera, but the iPhone system just performs better. That is why the iPhone takes home the camera system point. Performance. This version of the OnePlus 8 Pro has 256GB internal storage capacity. It is equipped with a super fast Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 chip with 1x 2.84 GHz and 3x 2.42 GHz and 4x 1.8 GHz and has 12 GB RAM. There's also an 8 GB RAM model with an internal storage capacity of 128 GB available. The storage capacity unfortunately cannot be expanded. So far so good. The OnePlus used to be the strongest phone that we tested. Let's dive into Apple specs to find out what they came up with. The iPhone 12 Pro Max is equipped with Apple's A14 Bionic chip. The phone has 6 GB RAM and the individual models offer different storage capacities. 128, 256 and 512 GB are available. Storage capacity unfortunately cannot be expanded as it is typically for Apple iPhone devices. It is the A14 Bionic chip against Qualcomm Snapdragon 865. But this time it is a bigger version of the iPhone 12 Pro. Can the A14 Bionic chip beat the Snapdragon this time? Let's take them into the Antutu benchmark test. The tests are divided into 3 phases. A performance test of the RAM, a test of how the device is handling two-dimensional graphics, and an endurance test of how the device is handling 3D graphics. The iPhone 12 Pro Max actually took home the performance point and is now officially the strongest phone we tested so far. It's got a higher number in the Antutu benchmark test than its competitor, the OnePlus 8 Pro. If you want to see the full performance comparison, click here. Design. The OnePlus 8 Pro has a clean design with a matte finish. The quad camera system is well positioned on the upper center on the back of the phone. The camera bump is pretty big and sticks out a lot. That is something we don't really like. The smartphone weighs 199 grams, it's roughly 16.53 cm long, 7.44 cm wide and 0.85 cm deep. It has a USB-C connector and thanks to an IP68 rating, it is finally water and dust resistant, which previous models weren't. The 8 Pro uses face recognition technology and a fingerprint scanner which is built onto the screen to unlock the phone. The face recognition technology works perfect at daylight and also good in a weak light environment. Like I already mentioned, I personally don't like curved edges. But I also mentioned that our team is a little bit divided when it comes to this topic. Let's check out Apple's new design on the biggest version of their phones. The iPhone 12 Pro Max has a glossy stainless steel frame and a matte glass finish on the back. Typically for Apple, it has a very high-end look and feel to it. The triple cameras are well positioned on the upper left corner on the back of the phone. The smartphone weighs 228 grams. It's roughly 16 cm long, 7.81 cm wide and 0.74 cm deep. It uses Apple's Lightning connector and is IP68 rated, so it's water and dust resistant. And it is supposed to be 4 times more drop resistant than previous models. The iPhone uses face recognition technology to unlock the phone. The Face ID as usual works perfect at daylight and also good in a weak light environment. Apple's new design on the biggest phone seems massive. The OnePlus 8 Pro feels good by holding it, but the iPhone still has a more high-end feel to it. Maybe it is because of the heavier body or the material Apple used that it feels more sophisticated. But yeah, they have something in common though. They both wobble when laying on the table. Still, overall, the iPhone won this point in our opinion. Do you agree? Or do you like OnePlus design more than that of the iPhone? Let us know what you think in the comments below. We'd love to hear your opinion. Battery. The iPhone 12 Pro when fully charged has around 3687 mAh. On the other hand, the OnePlus when fully charged has 4510 mAh. In terms of capacity, the OnePlus 8 Pro should last longer. We will see in our day-to-day usage test whether that's really the case. Usually Apple was able to keep up with other manufacturers even with a smaller battery, because they have more control of the hardware-software implementation. But since they put smaller batteries into their 2020 phones, they are hardly compatible. The iPhone 12 Pro Max fell behind the OnePlus 8 Pro in our day-to-day usage test, and therefore loses out in this category. The point goes to the 8 Pro. Still, both phones cut through a whole day of normal usage. It always depends on the way you use the phone or the settings you use it in. Conclusion. At this point of the video, we go through all the categories to collect the points to find out which phone will lead this comparison. We start with the display category. This point went to the OnePlus 8 Pro, because overall it had the best specs. Still, we think that the contrast and saturation of the iPhone looks a little bit better. In terms of performance, the iPhone 12 Pro Max came out stronger and therefore won this point. The 12 Pro Max features an excellent camera system, which is why it also took home this point. No question, in our opinion, the iPhone is in terms of design, the better looking and more high-end phone. The last category won the OnePlus 8 Pro again. It lasted long in our day-to-day usage test, and therefore won the battery life category. Overall, the iPhone 12 Pro Max won 3 out of 5 categories and wins this comparison. Naturally, we review more than these 5 categories covered here. If you want to see the full comparison, follow the link to our website. You can compare up to 7 different smartphones at versus.com. But before you do that, please post your comments and let us know which phone you think ranks first. If you liked our video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Till then, take care and see you soon.